We know that the Mawlid is very controversial. I celebrate the Mawlid in this year in Boston. MashaAllah, we had around 600 people in our masjid at ISBCC making salawat upon the Prophet ﷺ. But there's a few things I want to point out about the Mawlid, celebrating the birth of the Prophet ﷺ. Number one is, it's not a bid'ah. It's not an innovation. The word bid'ah means something that has no fundamental source. It has no sourcing in the sacred text. But Imam Ibn Hajar al-Haythami, wal-Asqalani, and also Imam Suyuti, they mentioned that there are a number of sources to prove we should honor this day. For example, the Prophet used to fast the day of his birth, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, every Monday, because that was the day I was born, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Imam al-Hafidh ibn Rajab al-Hanbali said that shows us we should honor that day that he was born, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Number two, the Prophet ﷺ, he made aqiqah for himself. He's the only person we know of that had aqiqah done for him twice. One was done by his grandfather, and then one was done by himself. And Anas ibn Malik says, as related by Imam al-Bayhaqi in his Sunan, with a good isnad, فَقَدْ عَقَّ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ مَرَّتَيْن, that the Prophet ﷺ, فَقَدْ عَقَّ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ بِمَكَّةِ, عفwan, that the Prophet made the aqiqah for himself in Mecca, and in Medina, excuse me. And Imam Suyuti radiallahu anhu said that this is min babi tamthil, like the Prophet is showing us how to honor him. So something that we should honor the day of his birth, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. The third is that the majority of the fuqaha from all of the madhahib agree that celebrating the Mawlid is a commendable act, It's not a sunnah, but it's something that if we do it with the proper niyyah will be rewarded. And it's impossible for us to believe that those four schools, right? Thousands and thousands of scholars would agree on dalala. The Prophet said, "La tajtami'u ummati ala dalala," that my community will never agree on misguidance, right? So instead of saying this is an innovation, we should say amrun mukhtalafun fi, something that people differ over. And if there's a difference amongst the scholars, then there's rahmah, there's mercy and compassion.